do the numbers. So
a little bit of pencil pushing there for Sam Jordan. So we'll get Sam in the show later. But another thing that happened last week, Hickson took on your alma mater, and we're going to be joined by a Hickson coach later. Could you tell us a little bit about our guest that we've got coming up?
Yeah, so Coach Todd Worley, he's the running backs coach. I just saw him pull in, actually. He is running backs coach for Hickson. He's a good friend of mine. We actually worked together on the Eagles staff a little bit as well. So, Todd's a good coach. He's going to be able to help us. Honestly, he'll be able to talk a little bit, not just about Hickson, but he'll be able to talk with us about breaking down the rest of the area and that kind of thing. I do want to talk to him about the new field, the new grass they put in at Hickson. It looks beautiful. Can't wait to get out to a game there. I think actually next week we're there.
Yeah, I believe we're out there with Hickson and Red Bank next week, but this week we do have LFO and Ringgold.
We'll go just a little south of the border to Fort O. But there's a lot of good things to talk about with Hickson. So obviously we can break down their matchup this week with Sequoia, what they feel like they need to do on the road there, and then talk to him a little bit about the rivalry that is Red Bank and Hickson. Todd played at Hickson, so he knows firsthand about that rivalry, and it'll be fun to talk to Todd, and hopefully, we can have Todd or Coach Murray or anybody else on that staff back again next week and talk to them a little bit before their game next week. Big rival.
Every week there are some surprises on a weekly basis. Sam, anything surprise you from last week?
Not really. It's been pretty predictable. I mean, we've had some really good games that we've been fortunate to pick. And I don't think that this week's game is going to be any less of that. However, Ringgold may jump out and embarrass Lakeview Fort O a little bit. But as much there is a
I thought that was a great choice. You focusing on the rivalries that essentially, you get good games no matter what the records are. I mean, you had Signal Mountain, it's a team that hadn't won a game, and they were still able to fight Red Bank and give us a really classic.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be that same way this week. Ringgold's had a better season so far. I mean, Ringgold's coming into this contest. Well, no, actually, Lakeview Fort O has a better record. Ringgold's 1-2, and Lakeview Fort O is 2-1. So, with that, Ringgold, though, has been a lot more competitive. They've scored a lot more than what Lakeview Fort O has. So, we want to give our neighbors to the south a little bit of publicity and give them a little bit of love. And, of course, we always have all of our great Tennessee schools and everything. But, Ringgold and Lakeview Fort O, or even when you throw in Dalton, or with Ridgeland. And Ridgeland we're yet to see yet this year, but Courtney Braswell, he's done a great job to keep the morale over there very high. They started off a little bit rough, got their first victory last week, which
upset.
That game could have went either way.
It was an upset. I mean, Sandy Creek's a really good football team, and it's a big win. I actually talked to Courtney a little bit today. I was trying to see if he could join us today. They have another JV game tonight, so he wasn't really going to be able to come, but it was a big win for him. It's what he really needed to do to kind of revitalize. Big road win, though. Huge. And now you have an opportunity at 1-2 to kind of make your mark and to move on and make this season very, very productive. And they can. I know Courtney really well. They're going to succeed. Maybe not to the level that he always wants to, but they will succeed.
The one thing though I'm sort of surprised at, and that's with Baylor. Yeah, they got that unfathomable victory right off of the bat with Notre Dame. They've played Knoxville Catholic, and they've had some other good schools that they played. But are you really surprised that they're really a 1-3 team at this point? Do you feel like, that they may have, hitting it hard and just can't execute to
I'm
turn things around?
I'm not surprised at all that they're 1-3. I was impressed that they won that game. I did pick them last week to beat Innsworth, and they almost did.
Yeah.
And Macaulay, I believe, plays Innsworth this week, and I anticipate
Macaulay
walking them pretty handily. But Baylor, I was impressed with the way they played last week. Really, I haven't been able to watch much film on it, but impressed with the way they played. But they just don't have the horses right now to compete in the classification that they're in. So that's kind of frustrating for them.
And they're one of those teams, them, Signal Mountain, Ridgeland, put in a category of teams that they're just playing a really tough early schedule. And I think they're a good football team. They're just better teams.
Right. Signal Mountain and Loudon, they're going to be at Loudon for that game. Both of those teams are coming into that contest with an 0-4 record this Friday night. So somebody's going to walk away with their first victory of the season. But, I mean, Signal Mountain, the game that you guys had with them here a couple weeks ago, I really thought Signal Mountain was going to take care of business. You know, they ran into buzzsaws, but, you know, Signal Mountain still has an opportunity of potentially making the playoffs here. If they can turn this second half around.
2 of your 4 games you've played, one of them went to the state championship last year and lost. The other one went to the state semifinals and lost. Tyner and Red Bank respectively. So it's not like you're playing, you know, slobs and losing to slobs. So it's got to be frustrating.
But you being a coach and everything, this also, even though they've experienced 4 losses, could also be a teaching experience if they don't get too far down in the dumps about it.
It is, but at some point you have to start winning if you're going to be successful. I mean, you're like I said, this is the halfway point this week, and if you start 0-5, you're not making the playoffs. I mean, that's going to require you to, at best, winning all 5 of your games remaining to even have a shot. That's not happening. I think Signal's got to win this game, and it's a tough. I've been to Loudon. It's a tough environment to play. So I'd be shocked if they came away from that. Not to mention the 1.5-hour bus ride you have to take to get up to Loudon.
You know, some of the other teams that are having it tough right now, you know, you mentioned a little bit about Hickson, Nick. You know, they're going to be up at Sequoia up in Madisonville. I mean, Sequoia right now is having a real good season at 3-1. Do you feel like that, you know, potentially taking a look at the teams that are winless so far, Hickson being one of those, you think this could be the game?
No.
No?
No.
I don't think so either.
Hickson's going to struggle all year.
But maybe not as bad as Boyd Buchanan.
Yeah.
Well, they're better than Boyd Buchanan. Look, Hickson is in an unfortunate location. They have to play Soddy. They have to play Red Bank. I mean, they just
East Hamilton.
That's East Hamilton. It's a tough place. You know, that region is just tough, and you know, someone's got to be at the bottom. It's not for lack of effort.
No, and Coach Murray does a good job at Hickson. It's just sometimes, you know, you got to have. As Philip Fulmer always said, it's about the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's.
Right.
At some point, you know, sometimes you're just outmanned and you're going to get out athleted, and that's kind of unfortunately what happens. And Hickson hasn't always been that way. You know, Hickson used to be able to compete and things like that, but lately it's just frustrating because they don't have the horses, and the kids, some of the kids they have, they're really talented. It's just they don't have the number of horses to be able to compete in the region that they're a part of. It's tough for them. At some point, when they reclassify, they may end up dropping down another classification. But I don't know. It all depends on on.
So in other words, there's too much fluoride in the water up there at Hickson.
Apparently.
it's look and. Because sometimes it's not just about being talented. I know Hickson's got some talented kids over there, but you've just got to be talented sometimes in the right spots.
Yeah.
You know,
Hickson always has good line.
Yeah, right. But you look at Red Bank and how talented they are at quarterback, and you look at how talented they are at wideout at Saudi Daisy. I mean, you just at quarterback at Saudi as well.
Gavin Chambers does a great job.
Yeah, I mean, just you look at it and you go, the teams in this region are talented in the right spot. Where Hickson, you've got a solid line, but you're not as talented at quarterback, and you're not as talented running football, and then you're going to struggle.
Yeah, Boyd Buchanan is another one of those teams here in Chattanooga. Yeah, I mean, Boyd Buchanan, I don't think you could get much worse.
I just feel bad. I mean, those kids, they give all their effort. They talk about a team that's just undermanned. I mean, they barely have any horses, let alone enough.
Copper Basin, Walker Valley,
yeah,
2 more teams that are similar.
Yeah, you look at Walker Valley. I mean, look at the location they're in. I mean, you talked about Hickton. Your Walker Valley, you got Cleveland and Bradley Central right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a nightmare.
They're not necessarily in their region, but the fact that you talking about programs that are right next to each other. And that's just, I mean, it's almost impossible to be successful.
To make an NFL comparison, if you're in a division, like you're the Browns, right? Like you got to play the Steelers 2 times a year, the Ravens 2 times a year. Like sometimes it's the region that you're in. Mm-hmm. You just run into some schools, you can't beat them.
Yeah. I mean, it's just unfortunate. I mean, you feel bad about those 3 or 4 schools that they don't have a whole lot of talent, not a whole lot of players on top of that. And then you're trying to be competitive, in your division. So, it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes potentially for some of these teams that are 0 for 4 right now or 0 for 3, whether or not they can get things turned around and maybe try to make that run.
This is the week to do it if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it this week, chances are you're not going to be able to. You look at teams, the teams that I see that have struggled out of the gate, that have a shot. Ridgeland's 1-2. We're talking about teams that are 0-4, 0-3. I don't see a lot of guys that are 0-3, 0-4. A lot of teams that are going to be able to do anything. I mean, you've buried yourself almost at that point. But teams like Ridgeland, I think, can correct some things and make a playoff run. I just don't see a lot of teams like that are going to be able to do much.
And then you go to the other side of the line over on the Georgia side, teams like Northwest Whitfield, Lakeview Fort O, Southeast Whitfield, Dalton, that have jumped out to 2-1 records so far. And there's a few undefeated teams out there, like Calhoun and Tryon, Christian Heritage, that are making impacts, down there and really taking care of business and stuff. So, we're seeing a few surprise teams, Keon, that, are doing very well, but there are some others that we thought that would be up there undefeated at this point. But, they get their buzzsaws down there just like we get ours here in the Volunteer State.
Oh, no, for sure. And I think that's something that you end up seeing the reality of that from season to season is you look for the team that exceeds your expectations. You look for a team that maybe might struggle a little bit, and you find out every year you're wrong. You're really wrong.
Well, we got more of the Gridiron Gang coming your way here after the break, so stick around. We got a lot more to talk about. Come on down here to Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. Got drink specials. You can check those out. The guys will be talking about it. In fact, they're actually drinking the drinks. I haven't even gotten in there to get mine yet, but you guys are pretty consistent. You keep to your own, so you're pretty much picking. We'll be back with more of the Gridiron Gang Show in just a moment here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM. 3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Georgia State Parks are doing their part in giving evacuees a place to stay. Campsites at Cloudland Canyon are available at no charge for anyone fleeing the storms. Park rangers say there are no water or electrical hookups at the moment, but you're free to set up camp to escape the storm. Chattanooga police trying to track down an arsonist who set fire to a church. Piney Woods Baptist Church on East 52nd Street was set ablaze early last week. Chattanooga Fire spokesman Bruce Garner tells the press the fire investigator is quite confident that this was arson. The investigation is ongoing. A $5,000 reward is up for info. leading to an arrest. And Georgia Governor Nathan Deal has issued a state of emergency for all 159 counties in Georgia. The governor in a statement said the state is mobilizing all available resources to ensure public safety ahead of Hurricane Florence. Val St. John for Nuga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
David Toulis, I made the move 1 o'clock every weekday afternoon, 1 till 3, Nuga Radio.
92.7 Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Becoming fair out there through your nighttime hours, warm and muggy. Overnight lows only 70 to 72. Now for your Friday, expect lots of sunshine, a dry, hot day. Highs 90 to 91. Continue dry and hot with some sunshine Saturday as well. Highs near 90. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's. Home with the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world famous sauce. Open daily, locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm Sourcine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
I got my business up and running, and it's already expanding. I got lucky. Lucky because I found Signal Voice and Data. Signal Voice and Data can incorporate all of my business information sharing and communications seamlessly, keep my costs down, and let me work more productively with endless connectivity no matter where I might be. That's called working smart, not hard. Go to signalvoicetn.com and bring the future of communication to your business today. signalvoicetn.com.
I live, work, and play in Chattanooga, the scenic city. But when it comes to my next car, truck, or SUV, I'm Alabama bound. Fort Payne, Alabama, and Landers McClarty Ford. Big city selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with the small town price and friendly service. Now, I'm not knocking my hometown, but when it comes to my next ride, I only go to Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. Their selection is huge. Then if I can't find what I want, they'll find it for me with the same low price, same great service, and only a short drive away. And I can go online to look around before I leave the house. Got that next dream ride in your head yet? Yeah, you do. Get a head start at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com. Don't just dream it, find it at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com. That's right, Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne, Alabama.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Hello? Who am I speaking with? Eric. You're our winner.
Really?
You'll receive tickets for all 3 races between the Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup races.
Holy cow.
In addition, you'll receive a 2-night stay at the Microtel Hotel and restaurant accommodations at 2 area restaurants.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Your NASCAR racing station. Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
You hear that? That's the sound of power. The call of the open road. That is the newly designed 2019 Indian Chieftain Limited. Yeah, Indian. More than a bike, it's an experience and an American icon. And the place to find it, Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga, along with their entire new 2019 line. Ready to answer that call? Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign on 153 and Ann Nicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Join Nuga Radio and the Gridiron Gang live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We're talking all things high school football. There's a specialty brew or refresher weekly inspired by the game of the week. Sweet treats, extended hours all season long, and we're pet friendly. Portions of all proceeds support local schools and educational scholarships as well as after-school programs. It's football time in Tennessee. Join us every Thursday live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks, 10 North, your North Shore neighborhood living room.
The kids are back in school, routine has returned, and we've shifted our thoughts to the fast approaching holiday season. Are you hosting? Want to spruce up before your guests arrive? Whether you want new color and exciting wallpaper or elegant window treatments, the designers at Chattanooga Paint and Decorating can help. With brands like York, Tebow, Graber, and Carroll, we know you'll find something you love. Stop by Chattanooga Paint and Decorating today. It's really more than just a paint store. On Hicks and Pike, across from Valvoline, or online at ChattanoogaPaint.com.
Nuga Radio.
Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7.
Nuga Radio.
Listening to Nuga Radio 92.7 FM, the Gridiron Gang Show. I'm Keon Rose. Alongside me, Nick LaFew and Sam Jordan. We're bringing you a breakdown of all the high school games in the region. Last segment, we talked about everything from last week, just some of the surprises, some of the things that we thought were interesting. And we've got a guest here, Coach Todd Worley from Hickson High School. He's going to talk about Sequoia and some other things. But first, we got some stuff to get to, Nick.
Yeah, here at Starbucks 10 North on the North Shore. For this week, we have our specialty drinks for our game of the week between LFO and Ringgold. There's a Warrior Refresher, which is the LFO drink. That's a very berry hibiscus refresher with lemonade. And then for Ringgold, there's the Striped Tiger Frappuccino, which is a vanilla bean Frappuccino with a caramel drizzle, which I've had. And if you can see, Keon, I've drank the whole thing. Obviously, Sam's having a blast over here.
We're watching our general sales manager on a little scooter and going crashing into the grass.
Well, things happen. And then Keon over here has had the LFO drink. It looks like it's almost gone as well, so I'm sure it's pretty good.
You're both working on it pretty good.
I got the largest possible drink, and I'm about done. It's pretty great.
Like I said, though, we will be out. I believe is at Ringgold, correct? Or is it at LFO?
It's at Lakeview Fort Oaks.
Okay, so it's at LFO. See how much I know. I just find these things out on the day of the game. But that is the high school game of the week, brought to you by Amco Transmission and Total Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. You're going to stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way, the Thompson Petway way.
There's no other way to do it.
There is no other way to do it.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, join me for the Countdown to Kickoff presented
Nobody
by
cares,
1-on-1
Sam.
Personal Training. And then we'll have the Amco Transmission and Total Care game of the week. And then afterwards, we'll have the fifth quarter show. But also during the game, while you two are getting a little bit of a breather, because you two really get into it, do a great job, I'll also give you some score updates if I don't text them to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, you blew up my phone last week. All right, anyway, on to more important things.
Yeah, Hickson and Sequoia.
Hickson and Sequoia. We have Coach Todd Worley, running back coach at Hickson High School. Todd, welcome.
Hey, how are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing very well. Looking forward to a good game hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, so before we even go into a game with Sequoia, Hickson, before the season even started, had something huge happen. You put in a new field. How did that whole process go?
Well, our athletic director, also the guy who I'm assistant wrestling coach to forever, named Garrett Call, we've been getting on board with this for a while, crunching numbers, trying to figure out when the last time field and track were done, and we were more than due for one. So he came in this summer, flattened everything out, and gave us a very nice new field, new track.
All the pictures I see, I obviously haven't been to the school yet, but all the pictures I've seen that posted on Facebook and everything, it looks pretty amazing. I mean, it looks like a college field out there.
It's great. Actually, the guy who's doing the field said that it's the same turf they used on Auburn's field. So it's very nice, very good. It's leveled out. It doesn't crown much anymore. New drainage system. The only thing we're waiting on is for them to spray the track.
Does it take a while to get that in there? Did that affect any of your off-season work?
It didn't, because we have a good practice field, but it does take a while, and they were actually kind of in crunch time because some of the rain put them behind, but they did get it done.
Speaking of rain, more importantly, week one,
yes,
you have a home game.
We did.
That you didn't get to play because, one, I can't imagine that you guys wanted to even touch that field in the absolute deluge that was that first week.
Well, we did, but our athletic director said no.
Well, right. Okay. Obviously, as a coach, at the time of the game, you're ready to go. The kids are ready to go. Yeah. But realistically, hindsight, that was the correct decision.
Oh, yes.
You can't ruin that field.
I mean, even as good as our new drainage system was, I mean, with as much rain as we got, it was about an inch high on the field and about 2 or 3 inches high by the concession.
We were at Red Bank and Saudi Daisy and didn't even get a kickoff or anything. I don't know.
The national anthem, man.
We got
the anthem. We saw the kids walking out on the field, and we had to turn them back around. They never came back.
We didn't get that far.
And then we got a swimming pool worth of water.
Yeah, it looked like, and then Keon made the point on the air that night before we went back to Sam for an extended first quarter show instead of a fifth quarter show.
Sam did.
It looked like we were going to find Chattanooga's next greatest swimmer before we were going to find the next greatest football player.
Oh, for sure, for sure. If it would have been a swimming event, it would have been easy money.
In the left side end zone at Red Bank.
Yep.
Half the end zone was just filled with water.
That's the same way it was at our field. It's just
and you can't ruin fields in week 1 like that.
especially not a new field. I mean, it was just
and realistically, I don't know how many teams played region games that really. I mean, Saw Daisy Red Bank, that game matters.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter.
Yes.
So I know that both teams. We talked with Coach Chris Brown from Red Bank the week after. Both teams, including with Hickson, were trying to get something to work out, and things just couldn't work out logistically.
I was in the meeting with those attempts.
Yeah, I know you told me you're like you can't tell anybody yet,
yes.
but we're trying to get it done, and I know guys are trying to get it done because that game means so much to the city. Saw Daisy Red Bank, but you guys got the Red Bank rivalry next week.
Yes,
but before you get there, you got Sequoia. So, what kind of things do you need to do? Start offensively. What do you need to do to be able to? I mean, Sequoia's pretty good. They're 3-1.
Yeah, they're not bad. We need to move the ball on them. Obviously, I think we have more speed, stuff like that. We need to pound the rock up front though, and then try to get the edges. It's just they're big and they're tough, but they play a little slower than most teams we've seen. We've seen Anderson County, Meigs County, and Soddy in the past few weeks. So we've seen some of the best in the past 3 weeks, and now we're actually getting a region game that we feel good about playing. And last year it was 7-7 half. We fumbled out of the end zone. We fumbled through the end zone. So I mean, we haven't been able to catch that break yet, but I'm looking forward to getting them again.
So running the ball wise, from a coach perspective, are we wanting to run the ball outside? You said they're big. Are you wanting to be able to bounce the ball?
We would like to be able, we've got some good speed that can get to the edges. We'd like to be able to bounce the ball and get outside. Actually, we recently this year switched from a twins open look to now we are a wing T team, foot to foot. We just get nasty. We've taken ball back to like 1940s.
Hey, you know what, though? Some teams that run that in the area are very successful. I mean, it's hard to prepare for. You don't see a lot of high school teams run it anymore. Most guys offensively, I know, want to run because it's sexy, it's a good look. But if you're able to have the horses, especially if you're able to have the line in the back, then and I know Hickson always generally has a pretty good line.
And actually the coach that we've modeled all this of, our offensive coordinator's name's Josh Owensby, and he played for Jason Fitzgerald and Mark Pemberton. So this is the same offense Pemberton is running. So
and so with that being said, have the kids taken to the adjustment? I mean, you're going from the twins look to that's completely different.
It's a completely different look, but the kids have taken to it. It's taken us a while to, they started doing mesh periods in January where they just got together, the quarterbacks and running backs, handoff stuff, all that stuff to try to get it down. But I mean, they're taking to it. We watched film last week, and we think we're just about that close to just having it. If we're just one block away, one bounce away right now.
And I know. Oh, go ahead, Keon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. But I was just saying, like last week, you talked about the fumbles and how that is. I mean, you're running the wing tee. You're going to be running it a lot.
Yes.
How do you limit those turnovers moving forward?
Well, that's the biggest thing. We can't turn the ball over. Obviously, we want to keep the ball moving. It's not cool to watch. It's 3, 4, 5 yards, 3, 4. Like the first drive at Saudi, we took it 6 minutes down the field, and it wasn't necessarily pretty, but it was a good, solid, sustained drive. We just got to make sure quarterback and center make good exchange, and we have very good mesh points on everything, and that's just how we try to limit the turnovers.
To kind of shift the offensive scheme to the defensive side a little bit. Defensively, you know what you're going to run offensively. So on the defensive side of the ball,
that's what I coached last year.
They have to have to understand that you can't get down a lot because we're not going to throw the ball down the field.
No.
We're not vertical.
That's our biggest thing.
Defensively, what do you have to do to make sure that, one, you don't give up big plays to allow the game to get out of hand quickly? And what do you do to get your defense off the field? Because in this kind of offense, the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah, we try to preach to our kids, get out in 3 downs, even if there's a 4th down. If it's 4th and, get them into 4th and 2, 4th and 3, we'll be good there. Even 4th and 1 necessarily, burn the clock. And, this week they've got a few good guys. Number 40, probably one of their best players. I can't think of the kid's name off the top of my head. Good tight end, great in the seam. They like to put him out one receiver away and just throw jump balls to him sometime. And they've also got a kid, number 20. We're not quite sure if he's going to be back this week. Probably their best running back. Great zone, big kid. So hopefully we can just contain him, make him go plays down the field. Bend, don't break.
On the tight end, without giving away game plan,
Yeah.
is that something where you're going to try to keep a backer on him, or are you going to try to bring in like a nickel guy to cover that?
We've got a few things planned. We're going to try to keep him from getting off the line of scrimmage. If we can keep him getting off the line of scrimmage, that's good for us.
That's fair. Not that I think people in Madisonville are listening to the show in Chattanooga, but I don't want you to have to give away. I'm sure Coach Murray would not be pleased.
No.
Let me just reset real quick. You're listening to the Gridiron Gang show here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Joining us is Coach Todd Worley. He's a running backs coach at Hickson High School, and he's just helping us break down the game against Sequoia coming up this Friday night.
So you talked about the tight end hitting the seam, liking to get the seam, the running back. Do they run an inside zone?
There's a lot of inside zone look. They'll look at a few RPO stuff, but it's a lot of inside zone.
What's your defensively? I know you don't coach that stuff now, but you've done it before. Yeah. What's keys? What are your keys? I know you want to get them off the field in 3 or 4, but to do that, what are the keys?
Well, we got to get, obviously, if they're going to throw the ball number 4, we got to get a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. You know, if we give them all kinds of time back there, it doesn't help our DBs or anything like that. Also, I think containing the edges, make him get east and west and then have to turn north and south and stop. Good pursuit from the backside. No big plays. I mean, you can give up 5 yards here. You can't give a 25-yard touchdown. Make them earn it all the way down the field.
So on the way to sort of figuring out about what in a region that's really tough.
Yes.
You know, you've got Saudi, you've got Red Bank. How do you try and figure out what you're doing from week to week while trying to game plan for those guys?
Well, like obviously the first few weeks we played teams that were all spread teams. They all kind of ran the same thing. You know, Meigs County, great team. Also used to coach under Jason Fitzgerald a long time ago. They were a spread team. So we've been pretty easy getting through the first few weeks. I don't think we'll see really a true under center pound the ball team. Red Bank might a little bit, but until Howard. So, but I mean, you know, we just watch a lot of film, break down a lot of stuff. We meet on Sundays, and we'll sit in there for 6-7 hours, break down stuff along with our breakdown through the week, and, you know, just try to identify points where we think we can attack. You know, we might be able to attack B-gap this week. We think we got a good shot at attacking that. We might be able to attack the edge this week, you know, so it's just kind of give and take and see what you can do.
We talked to Coach Brown at Red Bank about this a lot, and the couple times he's been with us. Film-wise, obviously with the kids, you want them on the field a lot, but what do you guys do position group-wise in your case, or even as a team, film-wise, to break it down? Do you have them watch it on their own time? Do you, obviously, I know you watch it together, but are they required to study their own?
They watch their film on their own as well. We bring them in on Mondays, though. As a staff, we'll break down Sundays, and even we break down Friday nights as well. I usually don't leave the school till about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday nights, but we'll have it broke down there. Then we'll bring the kids in. We'll watch it offensively and defensively. I'll kind of have the running backs by me. Coach Murray will have the offensive lineman more with him. Same thing on defense. And then also sometimes after practice, our defense gets a lot of work after practice. Because as an offensive coach, you just got to kind of know odd, even front, just to kind of know where you want to be. Defense
especially
is where
in
really,
the kind of offense you run.
And the kind of offense we run. Defensively is where you really got to start breaking down tendencies and all that good stuff. So
when I know you talked about them, is this a team that's going to pass on you guys a little more than I mean, I know Saudi loves to throw the ball.
I don't think they're going to throw the rock around as much as Saudi does. I mean, Barnes over there does a great job of it.
He wants to throw it he throw it 60 times.
That's what I'm saying. Barnes does a great job of it, though. He's got good schemes. He likes to push the ball downfield, and he's got the cats to do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, got a pretty good quarterback to do it.
Yeah, he's got the cats to do it. This team, I think we're going to get a little bit more downfield, downhill running, and they're just going to try to take their shots over the top when they get a shot.
Do you think you feel pretty good about your front seven to be able to contain inside? I know you said they run that inside zone, but I feel like if you're able to contain it there, they're going to try to bounce it out a little bit. Do you feel like you can set the edge?
I think we can set the edge. We got number 9. His name's Jonathan, and he's out there. I think he can set the edge very well. We've got one big joker in the middle named Novotis McCurdy, and I'm telling you what, right now, if you want to watch him, that kid could be playing on Saturdays in a little while.
Well, I mean,
he figures it out, number 78.
We'll be there next week, obviously, to catch, and I'm being honest with you, to be able to watch Red Bank Hickson, and to be able to call that game, it's one that I always love to go to.
And teams
do not like each other, and it's always fun. That being said, let's talk about that. I know you're thinking more about Square right now, but let's talk about that. You played at Hickson. You know, I think, what does the game mean to you guys?
It means a lot. First off, it means a lot because my dad read bad, so if I could get that one, I could talk a little bit about it. But, you know, it just means a lot. Community, you know, as growing up in Chattanooga, you know, I had friends, or growing up in Hickson, I had friends in Red Bank and everything. So it's just a good bragging rights game. You know, the kids they don't like each other on Friday nights, but a lot of them hang out outside of that. So, I mean, it's just good to get all those families, see all the people, see all my friends from Red Bank.
It's usually a great crowd.
Oh, it is.
And that one is at Hickson.
Hickson.
Yeah, so that'll be fun to see the new field and everything. Before we let you go, I do want to kind of talk to you a little bit about the area.
Okay.
I know you've watched film on a lot of teams. Any teams kind of surprised you so far that you've seen?
This year, Meigs County surprised me a lot. I know we played them in the first game of the year, but he's doing a great job up there. And I've heard a lot of people talk about they got a shot at winning state this year. You know, they went to the quarterfinals last year, lost to Rockwood 19-0, but they got some cats now, and they'll get a running back here soon that I talked to that night. Can't think of his name. I think he's number 6. He is a stud.
What surprised you about Meigs County?
How good that quarterback can push the ball downfield, and even at their third running back, just how much consistency they have through the whole team. Just kind of surprised me.
I was going to ask you, Coach, earlier when Nick was on his line of questioning.
Okay.
There in the interrogation room.
Sorry. I like breaking down football with Todd. I'm sorry. Sorry.
But do you feel like your offensive line there, are they giving your backs enough time in running that wing tee properly?
They can. Actually, right now, what a lot of people don't know is we have 3 sophomores and 1 14-year-old freshman starting on our offensive line right now. So the kid, you know, that he's our left tackle, and he's coming along very well. His name's Landon Moore. But I mean, I think we're starting to get a little bit more push now. Like I said, we are foot to foot, 4-point stances, you know, pad level over thighs. We're coming downhill at you. But I do think they're given enough time as running backs. We got to stop trying to be so shifty and just get downhill and press it.
I think a lot of that has to do with the scheme you come from to what you've shifted to.
A lot of guys want to try to make moves, and I want to see more stick it, get downhill, get 3 to 4 yards.
It's hard to tell a kid who's been used to running those more of a spread concepts to run where you don't need the big play.
Oh, yeah.
I need 3.
Yep.
I need 4. I don't need negative.
No.
I don't need 0 or negative.
We can't get behind the sticks.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's very important that they understand that. I mean, when you change schemes so dramatically, it's hard to get that through their head right away. I think you probably agree. I think they'll learn as the season goes. Man, give me that 3. Give me that.
Yeah, and like I said, now it's good that we're in our region schedule. Getting in our region schedule, we can actually we you know, these are the games that, not saying the games before didn't count, but these are the games that really count if you want to make that playoff push at the end of the year. So also our head coach is our offensive line coach, so he does a pretty good job getting after him and doing good.
That.
Yeah,
that I'm sure that has a lot to do with everything. I know Coach Murray's very, very proud and
of his offensive line.
Yeah, he wants them to be the best.
Has your secondary been able to get a lot of picks? And
we haven't been able to get a lot of picks, but we played very good coverage. Actually, one guy, I think they're going to write an article on him. He's a youth pastor, and he's our DB coach. And you talk about that dude gets me fired after practice talking about stuff. Whenever y'all come to the game, come listen to the pregame with Kyle here.
You got to love the pastor coach.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I'm telling you, it gets me
talk
fired
about
up.
getting ready to preach right before the game.
Oh, it's more preaching. It gives me chills.
That's awesome. I do want to ask you couple more questions before we go, because we're about to go. But there's a couple of teams in the area that do have a pretty good shot at making a run at state, and one of them you'll play next week. In Red Bank, and then Tyner.
Yeah.
Obviously,
we played them in the Jamboree.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I mean, they're fun to watch.
Oh, Tyner?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Tyner. Wayne Turner is one of the best coaches around forever. Love that guy. Got great athletes. The Jeremiah kid on the outside, that receiver they got, very good. And, you know, I mean, Wayne's kind of like does what he does and does it well. He's been doing it well for a long time.
Right, quarterback who people didn't really know a lot about because it's his first year starting.
Yes.
And the first game. And
that Joker can play some ball now.
Oh, yeah.
We all had to
really
running
excited.
kickoffs, punt returners.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's a lot of good teams in the area. It's nice to see Chattanooga start to make that push back. to where they're able to play in the Mid-State in late November.
Oh yeah.
If you had one thing that you want to see from your offense, from your backs this week, what is it? And not a win.
No. I'm saying this week, I would like to have a 100-yard rusher at least, and then I'd probably like to see 300 yards of total offense. I think if we can get that, we can win.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because if your offense
that's time of possession, that's
you're talking
everything.
20-plus minutes of time of possession.
Yeah.
Well,
I like lofty goals.
Thank you again, Todd, for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me.
The Todd Worley, running backs coach, Hickson High School. We'll be right back. This is the Gridiron Gang Show at Starbucks 10 North here on the North Shore. We'll be right back after the news break.
Traffic, news, and information. Nuga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
2 schools were placed on lockdown yesterday after reports of shots fired in the woods nearby Brainerd High and Boyd Buchanan. Reports say that the CPD rushed to the scene and filled the parking lot, but they never found a threat. CPD police spokeswoman Eliza Mizal said that the shots fired could have possibly come from duck hunters in nearby woods. A gas leak shut down part of West 12th Street at the Chattanooga Convention Center. Chattanooga gas crews worked quickly to locate and shut off the leaking pipe. They say that the pipe could be underneath West 12th and Carter Streets. With the threat of several inches of rain coming in from Hurricane Florence, the Tennessee Valley Authority decided to preemptively lower the water level at all lakes and tributaries under TVA control in Tennessee. If you have a boat, you may want to check and make sure it won't be run aground. Georgia State Parks have opened up their gates for evacuees. They can stay for free at Cloudland Canyon. Russell Stroud, Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7. Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Becoming fair out there through your nighttime hours, warm and muggy. Overnight lows only 70 to 72. Now for your Friday, expect lots of sunshine, a dry, hot day. Highs 90 to 91. Continue dry and hot with some sunshine Saturday as well. Highs near 90. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's. Home with the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world famous sauce. Open daily, locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm Sourcine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com. For Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
My ex recently hacked my email and my social media, and it really caused me some problems. I changed all my passwords, which helped, but I'm still getting trolled, maybe even stalked. I know it's him. I just can't prove it.
My business, well, it's been broken into twice already. I've got cameras, but that only helps after the fact. I'd rather prevent it from happening in the first place.
Unity One East is your solution to these and many other security concerns. With private investigation, security services, and backed by decades of real-life experience in military and law enforcement, Unity One East is your instant contact for security, investigation, and consultation to help protect you, your family, and your business. No 1-800 number, no red tape, no wait, because Unity One East is local and available 24/7. Reclaim your peace of mind. Call Unity One East, 475-6206, 475-6206.
Join Nuga Radio and the Gridiron Gang live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We're talking all things high school football. There's a specialty brew or refresher weekly inspired by the game of the week. Sweet treats, extended hours all season long, and we're pet friendly. Portions of all proceeds support local schools and educational scholarships, as well as after-school programs. It's football time in Tennessee. Join us every Thursday live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks, 10 North, your North Shore neighborhood living room.
Whether you have marginal, moderate, or even extensive hair loss, you don't have to live with it. Finally, there's a procedure that becomes a part of you, and it requires no daily maintenance or special care. Let Apollo Hair Systems give you a free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 423-803-1011 and schedule this free evaluation today. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Apollo Hair Systems, 5512 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga. 423-803-1011 for Apollo Hair Systems.
I live, work, and play in Chattanooga, the scenic city. But when it comes to my next car, truck, or SUV, I'm Alabama bound. Fort Payne, Alabama, and Landers McClarty Ford. Big city selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with the small town price and friendly service. No, I'm not knocking my hometown, but when it comes to my next ride, I only go to Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. Their selection is huge, but if I can't find what I want, they'll find it for me with the same low price, same great service, and only a short drive away. And I can go online to look around before I leave the house. Got that next dream ride in your head yet? Yeah, you do. Get a head start at LandersMcClartyFord of Don't just dream it, find it at LandersMcClartyFord of That's right, Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne, Alabama.
Charge! Get back there, you dang Yankee! Great horny coats, I'm up north. Gotta burn my boots. They touched Yankee soil. Lay down your arms and step forward, Yankee.
WPLZ HD4 Ottawa, W224AZ Chattanooga.
Serving Chattanooga.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe, the Tennessee Valley's most listened to news talk station.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Pam Coulter. Dozens of flash flood warnings are in effect as the leading edge of Hurricane Florence is pushing water into coastal North Carolina neighborhoods. CBS's Mark Strassman is on the Outer Banks.
Crashing storm surge has already flooded this Barrier Island neighborhood with a river of fast-moving water, knocking down walls and wrecking houses. Storm surge in Avon rushed between homes. In Carolina Beach, the roads are more suited for boats than cars. On Cape Hatteras, sand dunes are like minor speed bumps, barely slowing down rising tides.
CBS's David Begnaud is riding out the storm north of Wilmington.
I've been watching the dock behind me rock back and forth, wondering how long it can hang on. Listen, we're in Beaufort, North Carolina. It's a small community. There's about 14,000 people who live here. There is a mandatory evacuation order that goes into effect. There's a dusk curfew, and I got to tell you, I don't know how anybody could be on the street right now anyway if they wanted to. There are power outages across the area.
Nearly 80,000 customers are without power in the state. There's widespread condemnation of President Trump's tweet disputing the Hurricane Maria death toll in Puerto Rico. House Speaker Paul Ryan.
There is no reason to dispute these numbers. And it's a function of this was a devastating storm that hit an isolated island. And that's really no one's fault. That is just what happened.
Nearly 70 homes are on fire after a series of gas explosions in several communities north of Boston. Lawrence Mayor Dan Rivera is urging some people to evacuate their homes.
If you live in South Lawrence and you smell gas or you see fire or your electrical or gas equipment is acting funny, just get out of your house. Come out to the street.
There are 4 people being treated in a Lawrence hospital. 3 injuries are reported in Andover. Many parishioners are not happy with the way the Roman Catholic Church has dealt with the priest's sex abuse scandal. KNX reporter John Baird.
The scandal has prompted the Pope to come up with initiatives aimed at convincing the faithful that he gets it and is prepared to do what is necessary to end, quote, the culture of cover-up in the Catholic Church. A man leaving Mass here at Our Lady of Lourdes says he thinks the church is making progress, and he's still hanging in there too.
My faith is still very strong. I recognize that there are a lot of people that have made a lot of mistakes, so it's human. That's the human element of being a Catholic, and it's a terrible thing. It's just a terrible, terrible thing.
Stocks moved higher on Wall Street today. The Dow shot up 147 points. NASDAQ rose 59. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hi, it's Patty LaBelle with a tip on making breakfast even better with Eggland's Best. Now, you know not all eggs are created equal, right? If you only want the best tasting, freshest, and the most nutritious eggs for yourself and your family, replace those ordinary eggs with Eggland's Best. Eggland's Best eggs have 25% less saturated fat, 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and so much more. That's why I only use Eggland's Best in my house.
Liberty Mutual Insurance knows you're focusing on the road right now, so we'll just describe our new billboards to you. They're horizontal rectangles with a yellow background. The headline reads, Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. And while that might sound like a lot of words for a billboard, they all fit perfectly. Overall, it's a pretty great advertisement.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, equal housing insurer.
2 Russians are denying involvement in the poisoning of a former spy and his daughter.
Yeah, that's us.
Heard here through an interpreter, Ruslan Bashirov and Alexander Petrov tell the Putin-supported RT channel they were just tourists.
Our friends had been suggesting for a long time that we visit this wonderful town.
Salisbury, a wonderful town?
Yes.
That Sergei and Yulia Skripal happened to be poisoned that day was, well, they say, an incredible, fatal coincidence. No mention of the traces of Novichok nerve agent found in their London hotel room. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Poisoning is suspected in the illness of a member of the Russian punk group Pussy Riot. 2 Russian news outlets say Pyotr Versilov has been in emergency care since Tuesday. A fellow Pussy Riot member says his symptoms include losing his eyesight and ability to speak. Members of the group served 15-day jail sentences for disrupting the World Cup in July. Pam Coulter, CBS News.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
2 schools were placed on lockdown yesterday after reports of shots fired in the woods nearby Brainerd High and Boyd Buchanan. Reports say that the CPD rushed to the scene and filled the parking lot, but they never found a threat. CPD police spokeswoman Eliza Mizal said that the shots fired could have possibly come from duck hunters in nearby woods. A gas leak shut down part of West 12th Street at the Chattanooga Convention Center. Chattanooga gas crews worked quickly to locate and shut off the leaking pipe. They say that the pipe could be underneath West 12th and Carter Streets. With the threat of several inches of rain coming in from Hurricane Florence, the Tennessee Valley Authority decided to preemptively lower the water level at all lakes and tributaries under TVA control in Tennessee. If you have a boat, you may want to check and make sure it won't be run aground. Georgia State Parks have opened up their gates for evacuees. They can stay for free at Cloudland Canyon. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
It's becoming fair out there through your nighttime hours, warm and muggy. Overnight lows only 70 to 72. Now for your Friday, expect lots of sunshine, a dry, hot day. Highs 90 to 91. Continue dry and hot with some sunshine Saturday as well. Highs near 90. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's. Home with the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world famous sauce. Open daily, locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm Sourcine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Love Radio 92.7.
We just started a family and we're already planning for the future. Michael Levy has helped pave the way to keep our financial future on track. He's local, he knows us, and cares about what's important to us. Don't put your future on hold. Call Michael Levy, 779-7755.
Get 8.1% on your money, guaranteed in writing. That's right, get 8.1% return on your money at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. American Gold Eagle Bullion will return you 8.1% on your money. That's right, get 8.1% return on your money at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. American Gold Eagle Bullion will return you 8.1% on your money at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, Brainerd Road, Chattanooga.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Radio 92.7 FM here at Starbucks 10 North on the North Shore, the Gridiron Gang Show. I'm Keon Rose. Alongside me, Nick LeFew and Sam Jordan. We're talking about all of the games happening in the region in high school football. Our game of the week is LFO hosting Ringgold. We've got a couple of drinks related to that. Nick, what are the drinks that we've got going on?
Well, for LFO, we have a Warrior Refresher. Now, that is a very berry hibiscus refresher with lemonade.
Delicious.
Okay? It is. You have one, and I have another one that won't be mine much longer, but it's here for now. And then also the Striped Tiger Vanilla Bean Frappuccino, which is for the Ringgold Tigers. I had one of those earlier. I'm just drinking all the drinks.
Yeah.
It's a Vanilla Bean Frappuccino with drizzled in caramel, and it's outstanding.
You're buying two drinks. We can't tell which direction you're going with your picks, so you're disguising it.
Well, our producer back in the studio is really upset that he still doesn't have a drink. That's okay. That's part of the job description when you're in the studio, I guess, is to you don't get the perks of getting drinks.
I mean, because our only other option is to buy a drink and keep it in the fridge for him until Saturday, which doesn't seem like it makes much sense.
No, I mean, I would be happy to drive to Eastridge if it wasn't Eastridge after, and I'm downtown. And that's a complete opposite direction of where I need to go after the show.
Where any of us is going.
So,
except me.
Well,
okay. Well,
there is true. Sam could bring Jason a drink.
So there we go. So there, Mr. Producer, that's who he was going
to be there.
That's who you should blame. If you don't have a drink, blame Sam.
Yeah, please blame Sam.
All right. So
always blame Sam.
Hey, don't forget tomorrow night. Tonight we start our high school football week off right here at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. Remember that, Nick.
10 North Shore.
Yes.
Cherokee Boulevard.
Tomorrow night, right after CBS World National News, we got the 101 Personal Training Countdown to Kickoff show. And then we have you two gentlemen bringing all the excitement from, would that be considered Rossville or Fort Oglethorpe?
The name of the school is Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it's probably Fort Oglethorpe.
Well, where I live at in Rossville, I mean, like 2 minutes away, you're there on Battlefield Parkway. So I don't even know where the real line is, but we know it's somewhere on Battlefield Parkway.
I can't help you. I will go where Google tells me to go.
Yes.
And it usually is the wrong place.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised that you actually beat me here. You left before me from the radio station, and I got here, and I only saw Nick and Jen, and it's like, Keon should have been here by now. And then when I got out of the car and came over, there you were.
Yeah, look, I didn't use Google this time. I know how to get here at this point. We've been doing it for 5 weeks. Even my sense of direction is not that bad.
Right. But anyway, we'll have score updates throughout the broadcast tomorrow night. And then after the game, the fifth quarter show here on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM. A lot of good games are coming up this week, and we'll talk more about those in the next segment and everything. But, we kind of touched on before talking with the coach, about how some of the teams have been a surprise, others that have been more of disappointments, and teams that, maybe this is their time to get their season turned around. How important is this, Nick, at this juncture in week 5, where there's a lot of teams that are basically trying to find their identity? What would you suggest?
I feel like at this point in the season, if you don't have an identity, the chances of you finding one that's worth anything is not going to happen. I think, we talked with Todd about completely switching schemes at Hickson offensively, and it can take 3 or 4 games to find your identity offensively or defensively if you're changing schemes, or if you've gone through a complete staff change where you've completely changed your scheme. It can take – you can practice all you want. You can get all those reps against your own team. Until you get game reps, it doesn't really matter what you do against your own team. And your own team knows your tendencies. They know what you want to do, so it's hard to practice and be able to work on your identity. You go into week 5 now. If you don't have an identity, I basically talked myself into a circle. But if you don't have an identity by now, by the end of this week, you're probably not going to have one, at least not one where you're going to be able to be successful.
When you are a team like Hickson, Eastridge, and others that have played very close in competitive contests, it's got to be frustrating because you're right at that cusp of breaking the end zone playing, and it's like you just can't get the upper hand, to get that first victory. But it's got to be frustrating, as a student athlete and everything. Sometimes you got to wonder whether, it can be demoralizing. It's like, are we ever going to win? Kind of attitude.
Oh, it absolutely is. And not only that, but no matter what, you're still holding on a little bit of hope, I imagine, if you're a player, that you can still make the playoffs. You really want to, especially if you're a senior. That's what you've been here for. That's what you've been trying to do.
It's your last hurrah.
And it's your last hurrah. The only issue is, once you're at this point in the season and you're a 1-win team or you're a winless team, the thing that's left every game is a must win. And that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, to have on your teammates, that every coaching staff has to overcome. The amount of pressure that it takes to say, basically, we have to win every game from here on out. You can do it. It's been done. But it's tough. It is tough. And you are going uphill every single week that you go out there, especially, like Nick said, if you're a team just now finding your identity or just now changing your identity to something else. That really puts you in a bind, because now what you're essentially doing is practicing in a style that you haven't been practicing in and going up against teams who already know who they are.
But Nick, when you're talking with, like we did with the coach, when you're changing offenses and going to something that's just totally not the norm that has been done over the years, like at Hickson, going into a wing tee, that's not always easy to make that transition.
No.
And hopefully you have good administration that's going to see that you're trying to make some subtle changes, even though they may be drastic up front.
Yeah, I think, though, in the long run, for who they have, if you're talking about Hickson specifically, the type of personnel they have, it's the right move. And I think they can be very successful. I think the administration is going to give Coach Murray plenty of time to get that settled. But I do think, for Hickson's sake, he said they're going into region play now. Now's your chance to make your move. He wants to see some drastic improvement. I think they will. I don't know if they beat Sequoia. Sequoia's a good team. But if they're able to really put that wing tee identity out there and they're able to execute and they're able to get the blocking up front, then, it's going to happen. And that's where, going into region play, you're going to be able to do some things.
And to add to your point, Nick, it's not like they're changing styles to something that doesn't suit the personnel that they have. We know about Hickson, their offensive line is always great. They have a bunch of people movers up front that just, when you look at offensive linemen, they're well coached, they're talented, they've got the size, they're pretty quick for an offensive line. There's no reason to believe that this is a change that they can't make. And I think a lot of schools that do switch up things in the middle of the season, a lot of it's very experimental. A lot of it, you're not entirely certain what you're going to do with the personnel that you have. Hickson actually has personnel to make this switch fairly successfully. Maybe it works.
Yeah.
It just may be a little slow out of the gate.
For sure. I want to remind everyone we are at Starbucks on 10 North here on the North Shore. Come on down and join us. We do have the specialty drinks for the two teams, the LFO and Ringgold, who is our game of the week this week. Now, that is our high school game of the week. It's brought to you by AMCO Transmission and Total Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. AMCO Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way, the Thompson Petway way.
All right, so come on down, check out, sit here like we have several that have been sitting here throughout the podcast, and one that's been a long-standing every week here with us, checking things out, and missing Calvin, who normally is always listening in if he's not here. So
we had a Lost Gators fan pop by as well.
Oh, so. Yeah, and it wasn't Hayden, though.
Well, you know what I think about
Must have been
Gators.
a friend of Hayden.
And never fails, we have
Chattanooga Fire.
That's an ambulance, Sam.
Yep,
Oh, okay.
the sign was, it's coming this way. Beauty of doing a live show.
Broadcast, yeah.
You're subject to whatever noises are out here.
At least they're not stopping here.
That's true.
Yeah.
That'd be
But anyway, come on down each and every Thursday night during the high school football season for the Gridiron Gang Show. Brought to you by Starbucks here at 10 North on the North Shore. I almost stumbled on that.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay,
right.
Sam.
It is a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Just give everybody a heads up. One college game, or at least one score of note, Boston College leads Wake Forest tonight 34-24. Just throw that in there. Boston College leads Wake Forest ahead of the Hurricane, apparently, 34-24.
For those
trying to get it
ACC
in.
fans out there.
Yeah.
Wake Forest, have they had a good football team recent?
I feel like I was in
the
high
Demon
school the last
Deacons.
time.
The only thing I know they're good for is in basketball, and that was back in the 80s. I haven't really seen
Well,
them.
that's not – I mean, when they had Chris Paul, they were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
no, they were fantastic. And I guess before that was Tim Duncan. So that wasn't a bad time
Oh,
either.
that's true, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've always had pretty good basketball.
But we've got high school football that we're talking about. Don't forget the Mocs are going to be playing here this weekend, talking about a little college ball. But UT supposedly is going to be playing a team called Texas El Paso.
Yeah.
Which used to be Texas Western years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you remember the basketball.
The movie?
Yeah,
Glory Road.
movie. Yeah.
Disney
Glory
movie.
Road.
Yeah, Glory Road.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's a solid sports movie. It's not like a top 10, but
No.
it's good.
I'd say 15 to 20, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
seems a little
we
high.
are Marshall kind of in that same category as well.
I think We Are Marshall's a lot better than Glory Road, personally.
Yeah, maybe 14th best.
No, a lot better. I'd put We Are Marshall top 10.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey's performance, great in that movie.
He's like really out there when you see him, in film clips and stuff. But, I mean, his acting is actually pretty decent.
Matthew McConaughey is a Texas fan, so I have no bad things to say about him.
All right.
You're still on that bandwagon?
I mean, I've been on it since 2005, so can't get off now.
He'll be changing soon.
Yeah, it looks bad if you jump off the band. If you jump off the bandwagon, well, eventually he's going to bark at me.
Yeah,
because that's what Georgia fans do because they're Georgia fans. Anyway,
so come on, that's you gotta love live radio, and especially being here, in downtown Chattanooga. Even though it's on the North Shore, you're stepping on my cord there.
Well, Sam, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, come on down, join in. If you got a question, we got a free mic here that we can let you ask if you're civil.
So one of the games last week that I thought it was really fun because we were watching the game unfold while we were doing the Brainerd East Ridge game.
Yeah,
was the Howard Tyner game. That was close for a half.
Yeah.
And it looked, that's actually been a really exciting game. I can't believe we can get the Howard Tyner game. And then we see the score at the end of the game. And Tyner just blew the doors off of Howard. We went, oh, okay, never mind. That's exactly how we thought that was going to go.
Howard was up 8-0 after the first quarter, and it was like as soon as the second quarter got started, it was quickly a 9-8 game, and then it became 12-8. And it was like after that, no looking back.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because you could because I checked the score stream app during the game.
Yeah.
Just to get a feel for what's going on around the area, so we can update and give scores. And you could see the Howard fans go, "Oh, look, we got them.
Yeah,
like we're here, we're in this." Yeah. Oh, it really didn't work out that way at all.
They're good for 8 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good 8 minutes.
Yeah,
football games.
8 minutes, 8 points.
Yeah.
No special teams play. Nick, I was going to ask you that. Do you feel that that's pretty much the norm? They don't really get into the special teams part of it around here as much as what they should?
I mean, I think it depends, depending on the coach. Some coaches really preach special teams, some don't.
And we saw a battle last week with Brainerd and East Ridge that came down to special teams essentially, because Brainerd pretty much just almost penaltied themselves out the game.
East Ridge lost because they couldn't kick.
Yeah, and Brainerd could make kicks, and that was pretty much it.
I think it really depends. Also, I mean, if you have kids who can or not. Kicking is not an easy thing to do, and especially to do it well. Place kicking is really difficult. Punting's not as difficult, but place kicking is tough. And, there's not great place kicking coaches around here. Nashville has quite a few. There's a former All-American kicker, James Wilhoit, who teaches kickers up in the Nashville area, but around here you just don't have that. And so, it's such a specialty that if you don't have that specialty coach who's most of the time done it before, you're not going to be successful at it, and unless you're just blessed and a good kicker.
Yeah, there are some teams that are very confident. Obviously, we had Chris Brown on, the head coach of Red Bank, and he was talking about his special teams unit. He's very confident in his kicker.
Yeah.
And they won a game in overtime on his leg. So, I mean, there are teams in the area that I think feel more confident than others in their special teams ability.
I'm not trying to name drop here or anything. I'm not trying to do that at all. But I know 2 kickers, both with NFL experience, both from Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know one. You've mentioned him many times.
Yeah, Robbie Gold and his brother Beep. Beep, his real name's Chris Gold, is the special teams coordinator for the Broncos currently. And it's like, there wasn't anybody around. They basically got their skill with soccer, and they basically took the soccer skills, and the football coach there at Central Mountain High School says, why don't you try out and be our kicker? Well, Beep ended up going to the University of Virginia, and Robbie, went to Penn State. Eventually, both of them got drafted and everything. But it's like, unless you know some good kickers and you really want to follow that path, I mean, there's a limited amount of players for that kind of a specialty and everything. And it's like, even with the Chattanooga Eagles, I mean, you guys, you have a couple guys that will kick it around a little bit, but it's like nobody really wants to take the effort, it seems like.
Yeah, and Sam, you might be actually onto something with, Robbie Gold and his other, soccer players.
Right.
But look, Red Bank, their kicker, soccer player, they had a defensive lineman that had the interception to help them hang on to win that game. Baseball player.
Yeah.
We had Brainerd last week, a couple of basketball players on that squad. I just think that if you're a football coach in Chattanooga, you just raid the pantry from all the other sports teams on your campus.
Completely derail the conversation, but can we talk about how great Brainerd basketball is going to be this year?
I mean, okay, it's going to be fantastic. Look, there you have some athletes, and last year they had the fight that pretty much derailed their season.
Yeah, Dawson, it had nothing to do with the players.
It was mostly just rowdy fans. It was ridiculous. But we saw some of those guys on the football field, and
Uten.
Yeah. Uten, that guy can jump out of the gym. You go
6'5", that kid's going to go play basketball at the next level.
This isn't even your natural sport. And everything was just a jump ball to Uten.
And guess
he
what?
Just goes up and gets it.
He caught it. Every time, almost every time. If the ball was within his catch radius, which is huge, he caught it.
It was an impossible catch radius.
And we had a great conversation with some of the basketball coaches in the press box about everything. And if you are a basketball fan in the area, and I know this is a football show, but if you are a prep basketball fan in the area, you get to Brainerd this year and watch them play, because that's a team that is a state title contender.
They had a state title caliber team last year.
Yeah, realistically, they did.
Team.
Well, when you're in that part of the county, you also got to think about East Hamilton as well. I mean, they have been pretty decent. They've actually played some national teams.
That's Hamilton Heights.
Or Hamilton Heights, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that's still over in that part of the county.
It is. And Hamilton Heights, that's a completely different animal in itself.
Right.
You're talking about playing, what's the school that Carmelo went to?
I think was it Oak Ridge?
Yeah.
It's Oak something up there.
Yeah, I know they've played them
New
and the
York.
school that LeBron went to in Akron. So a lot of great basketball in this area. Again, I know it's football, and we're gonna break down, the slate of games a little bit more and make our picks here in the next segment. But basketball, we're getting close. I mean, you're middle of September. Basketball kicks off around October. It's exciting, and as a Tennessee basketball fan, I'm more excited about basketball now than I am football, just because we have an opportunity to win a national championship.
Really be good.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Again, totally. We're going to completely derail the conversation before this break.
Yeah, it kind of derailed it because
we're talking sports.
Yeah, but we're talking about guys, especially at the high school level. You play multiple sports,
right?
And they, especially in that Brainerd East Ridge game, there were a couple of basketball players. I forget the name of the linebacker that they had that they lined up at running back on the goal line because he just
Cito.
Cito, yeah. Cito got. I mean, that guy runs behind his pads and he's a bowling ball.
Cito Chaney.
I mean,
can
you imagine that guy below post?
You're proud of yourself.
Names are not my best suit.
That guy, it would be impossible to guard on the block. I mean, you look at the basketball applications, but yeah, he's, as a football player, just unreal athletics.
You're listening to the Gridiron Gang Show with Keon Rose, Nick LaFew, and Sam Jordan.
What about names?
We're at names are hard. You're listening to the Gridiron Gang Show. We're at 10 North, Starbucks on 10 North here on the North Shore. We'll be right back. Numbers are hard too. We'll be right back after this break.
Traffic, news, and information. Nuga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Georgia State Parks are doing their part in giving evacuees a place to stay. Campsites at Cloudland Canyon are available at no charge for anyone fleeing the storms. Park rangers say there are no water or electrical hookups at the moment, but you're free to set up camp to escape the storm. Chattanooga police trying to track down an arsonist who set fire to a church. Piney Woods Baptist Church on East 52nd Street was set ablaze early last week. Chattanooga Fire spokesman Bruce Garner tells the press the fire investigator is quite confident that this was arson. The investigation is ongoing. A $5,000 reward is up for info, leading to an arrest. And Georgia Governor Nathan Deal has issued a state of emergency for all 159 counties in Georgia. The governor in a statement said the state is mobilizing all available resources to ensure public safety ahead of Hurricane Florence. Val St. John for Nuga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
David Toulis, I made the move, 1 o'clock every weekday afternoon, 1 till 3, Nuga Radio.
92.7 Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
It's becoming fair out there through your nighttime hours, warm and muggy. Overnight lows only 70 to 72. Now for your Friday, expect lots of sunshine, a dry, hot day. Highs 90 to 91. Continue dry and hot with some sunshine Saturday as well. Highs near 90. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's. Home of the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world famous sauce. Open daily locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm Sourcine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Ford.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
I got my business up and running, and it's already expanding. I got lucky. Lucky because I found Signal Voice and Data. Signal Voice and Data can incorporate all of my business information sharing and communications seamlessly, keep my costs down, and let me work more productively with endless connectivity no matter where I might be. That's called working smart, not hard. Go to signalvoicetn.com and bring the future of communication to your business today. signalvoicetn.com.
I live, work, and play in Chattanooga, the scenic city. But when it comes to my next car, truck, or SUV, I'm Alabama bound. Fort Payne, Alabama, and Landers McClarty Ford. Big city selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with the small town price and friendly service. Now, I'm not knocking my hometown, but when it comes to my next ride, I only go to Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. Their selection is huge, But if I can't find what I want, they'll find it for me with the same low price, same great service, and only a short drive away. And I can go online to look around before I leave the house. Got that next dream ride in your head yet? Yeah, you do. Get a head start at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com. Don't just dream it, find it at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com. That's right, Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne, Alabama.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Hello? Who am I speaking with? Eric. You're our winner.
Really? You'll receive tickets for all 3 races between the Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup races.
Holy cow.
In addition, you'll receive a 2-night stay at the Microtel Hotel and restaurant accommodations at 2 area restaurants.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Nuga Radio.
92.7.
Your NASCAR racing station. Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
You hear that? That's the sound of power. The call of the open road. That is the newly designed 2019 Indian Chieftain Limited. Yeah, Indian. More than a bike, it's an experience and an American icon. And the place to find it, Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga, along with their entire new 2019 line. Ready to answer that call? Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign on 153 and Nicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Join Nuga Radio and the Gridiron Gang live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We're talking all things high school football. There's a specialty brew or refresher weekly inspired by the game of the week. Sweet treats, extended hours all season long, and we're pet friendly. Portions of all proceeds support local schools and educational scholarships as well as after-school programs. It's football time in Tennessee. Join us every Thursday live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks, 10 North, your North Shore neighborhood living room.
The kids are back in school, routine has returned, and we've shifted our thoughts to the fast approaching holiday season. Are you hosting? Want to spruce up before your guests arrive? Whether you want new color and exciting wallpaper or elegant window treatments, the designers at Chattanooga Paint and Decorating can help. With brands like York, Tebow, Graber, and Carroll, we know you'll find something you love. Stop by Chattanooga Paint and Decorating today. It's really more than just a paint store. On Hicks and Pike, across from Valvoline, or online at ChattanoogaPaint.com.
Nuga Radio.
Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7.
Nuga Radio.
You're listening to the Gridiron Gang Show here. I'm Keon Rose, alongside me, Nick LaFew, Sam Jordan. We're going to be giving you our picks here in just a little bit. We're here at Starbucks 10 North on the North Shore live. And Starbucks, just so you know, will be open an hour after the show is over, so it closes at 10. It is, so far as I know, the Starbucks that's open the longest on Thursday nights. I know that's important to people because people like to come to Starbucks and just kind of hang out, work on homework, business,
especially in this area,
whatever.
homework is important.
Yeah, I mean, UTC is right around the corner. And so, yeah, come on down, join us. We're talking high school football. Speaking of high school football, we've got a couple of high school football-related refreshers, the LFO and the Ringgold drinks, and Nick is going to tell you what those are.
Yeah, so the two drinks, the LFO drink is called the Warrior Refresher. It is a very berry hibiscus refresher with lemonade.
Yum.
Very good. I've had that one. Stripe, and then for Ringgold, it is the Striped Tiger Frappuccino, which is a vanilla bean frappuccino with caramel drizzle, which I have also had. Great drinks. Great drinks.
Both very delicious.
Am I getting laughed at by the way I said something?
No. It's totally different.
Okay.
The one thing I'm glad that we're not at a sports bar, because I can only imagine what the drinks would be like and how you guys would be appearing over the air.
Slurred speech.
Slurred?
Well, I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Shades of Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah, he was showing a few shades.
Hey, it's okay, guys. The Tennessee-Florida game is at 7 or 7:30 p.m. You want to talk about hammered that Saturday? Woo, I'm going to have a blast.
Before the game or after or during?
Both.
Or all three, yeah. Of course.
But why choose?
Why choose? Just drink the whole day away.
Hey, don't forget to join us tomorrow night beginning after the news at 7 o'clock for the one-on-one personal training countdown to kickoff, and then we'll have the AMCO transmission and total care of Chattanooga game of the week. And if you ever have vehicle issues, you can always take them over to Amco Transmission Total Care. Stay on the road, not in the garage. I actually had to get my vehicle fixed there. And Thompson and his entire crew do a great job. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way, the Thompson Pepe way.
There's the pause.
Yes. So, and then afterwards, join me for the fifth quarter show immediately following the game and talk about all the various scores and highlights going on around the region. And
Sam
it will
getting
be
yelled
a
at by the producer.
fast-paced process. And I want to say this, guys. I mean, you two do a great job on the broadcast, but I want to give our in-studio producer, Jason Kirk, a lot of kudos. He's only missed 1 week, and that was because of a family situation.
Sam fell apart.
And I fell apart, of course. But Jason really makes things hum right along. And, even though
he still can't get the poor man a drink.
No.
One of these days, we will do it, I promise. Right,
Just
Sam?
today's not that day.
No. But anyway, I mean, we'll
Jason.
give you all the scores and highlights. Jason's a great guy. So he'll be with us on Saturday while you're possibly on the road up to Knoxville.
I'll be unless it's
Florence.
poop and rain on me. I'm gonna be there. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in Knoxville.
But you'll still be on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It is your show,
You just said it's so defeated. You said it.
Look. It is mine, and I'll be on the phone. I can host from my phone. That's not.
I've done it a couple times with you.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about it. I got plenty to talk about. I always got plenty to talk about.
I don't think 2 hours is enough time.
No,
to
I need
talk
like a
balls, football.
6-hour show.
Yeah. Well, good luck on that one.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to hear me talk for 6 hours. My girlfriend doesn't even want to hear me talk for 6 hours.
Maybe 6 minutes.
Maybe if I'm lucky.
All right. Now, we got a lot of games on tap here this week, and let's go over these. We'll start off first with...
Wait, hold on. I got to announce the segment.
Oh.
The segment is called Who You Got? All right, let's do it.
I got really
think
loud.
They heard you up at Coolidge.
If you want me to say it louder, I can do that.
Please don't.
Okay.
No. All right. First game we're going to talk about is the 1-3 Baylor squad taking on Pope John Paul II, who's 3-1.
Yeah, they lost last week.
Yeah.
Pope John Paul did.
Right. Do you think Baylor can turn it around?
Probably not. I'm going to be honest with you, no. It's on the road, right? Baylor's got to go to Pope John Paul. Yeah, they're not winning that game. Baylor loses.
Baylor going up to Pope John Paul. Baylor and their struggle with penalties continue. It shoots them in the foot.
I'm never picking them again.
They've got talented players. Like, there's really no reason for them to be 1-3 except for the fact that they can't stop with the false starts and the offsides and all the beat yourself penalties. I'm going with Pope John Paul.
Well, I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with Baylor.
Yeah, it worked out real well for me last week.
Yeah. So I think Baylor might be able to pull something out of their rear ends and go to 2-3 possibly.
They probably will pull something out of their rear ends, but it ain't going to be pretty.
And it might not be a W.
No. All right, our next game is Boyd Buchanan at Notre Dame. Boyd Buchanan's 0-4, Notre Dame 3-1. Their only loss was, of course, to Baylor. This one, I think, is going to be a 4-touchdown victory for Notre Dame.
Just 4?
If not more.
Just 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Sam with the safe Vegas spread.
Notre Dame, run away.
Boyd Buchanan 0-4, about to be 0-5.
Okay.
Got to go with Notre Dame on this one. They're too good, and Boyd Buchanan again,
it's too bad.
They don't have enough players.
Yeah.
They just don't have enough guys.
Yeah.
All right, our next game is a pair of 1-2 squads in Bradley and Cleveland. It's at Cleveland, guys, and I'm actually going to pick Bradley in this.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go.
I don't want to give any touchdown or field goal spread here on this one because they're pretty similar in a lot of areas, but I think Bradley could come away with the upset at Cleveland.
Bradley was like 5 seconds away from being 2-1 and throws a pick to Udelani in the game. But I'm gonna go Cleveland. I really like the Cleveland squad, even though they're 1-2. I think they're gonna win.
I'm gonna go ahead and take Bradley along with Sam on that one. It just they've got a lot of athletes, and look, They could have beaten Ottawa. That one was really close. And those games, I don't hold against anybody when a game is that close and that can go either way. And we know how good Ottawa is.
All right, our next game is Brainerd at Sweetwater. Brainerd's coming into it 2-2. Sweetwater's 1-2 on the season. I'm going to predict this one right off the bat. I think all three of us are going to see Brainerd because how well they played last week. But definitely, in my opinion, Brainerd should win.
They going to Sweetwater?
To Sweetwater.
Yeah, I'm still going to take Brainerd, but I think that's going to be a close game. Oh boy, I think that's going to be a close game. I'm not sold on Brainerd yet. They should have ran away with that game against East Ridge and just didn't. Is that the same ambulance?
No, it's a different one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's going another way.
The other one came back.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I guess Keon didn't get to pick this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Brainerd as well. Brainerd got off to a really slow start last week, and they were able to overcome it based on the fact that they just have incredible athletes, especially that Trey Uten on the outside. But they can also run the ball, and I really like their quarterback, Zaire. He's not spectacular in terms of like some of the guys with the top arm talent in the area, but he doesn't turn the ball over, and he keeps them on schedule, which I like a lot. I'm going to go ahead.
And one of the greatest names in football, Zaire Montgomery. He spells Zaire with an X.
Xiyeer.
Brilliant.
Just beautiful.
Brilliant.
I love his name.
All right. Next game here is Chat Central and East Hamilton at East Hamilton. Both schools are 2-2. Central, started off pretty good, but they've really been lackluster here the last couple of weeks. Now, East Hamilton, on the other hand, they've been rolling down the tracks here pretty good. With that one, I'm still going to go with Chet Central. I'm a big Purple Pounder believer, and I think that they are going to get that third victory that they've been needing for a while.
I'm going to go Central as well. I just think their running attack's going to be too much for East Ham.
Not to go ahead and be boring, but I'm also going to take Central. I do like that they run the ball. When that game is going, when it's rolling, they're about as good as anybody.
Yeah.
And it really is hard to pick against them, especially in a matchup like this, where I think it actually favors them a lot.
Yeah. CAK at Chattanooga Christian. CAK is 1-3 on the year, and Chat Christian is 3-0. I'm really surprised CAK is having a down year like they are. Chattanooga Christian, yeah, they played, not so great teams, but they still got that undefeated record. I'm going to go with Chat Christian. I don't know any particulars about them, but just the record alone, and they're got that momentum on their side. CAK, they've been struggling.
Yeah, is it at
Christian?
Is that CCS?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go CCS as well. CAK is just not having a good year. And I believe they're just a couple of years removed from a state title.
Yeah.
And the Christian Academy in Knoxville. So I'm still going to go CCS. I like what Coach Mariakis is doing down in St. Elmo.
I'm going to be contrarian. I'm going to take CAK. I do like CCS. It's got nothing to do with them. But like Sam said, their schedule has exactly been tough.
Right.
And CAK, I think, is a talented squad. I think they're very good. And, maybe they find some of that and get a little bit of a rhythm going this week against CCS, who hasn't played exactly the toughest opponent so far.
All right. Copper Basin, one of our favorite teams to talk about.
Pick on.
At Sail Creek. Sail Creek is 1-2. They got their victory in the first week of the season. They actually got their game in on Friday night.
Some school named Sunnyside Academy.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Well, anyway, Copper Basin's 0-4. Sail Creek's 1-2. At Sail Creek, all right, flip a coin here, guys. That's basically what I'm going to. You know what? I'm going to pick Copper Basin as the upset special of the week.
I'm just not going to pick this game.
And I'm going to take Sail Creek because they've won a game so far. And not only has Copper Basin not won games, they've gotten the brakes beaten off of them in every single game that they've played. It's hard to pick them. They just don't win, and they're not even close.
the points scored by their opponent is like
point difference
about
is not
10 points
good.
to 1,000 points, literally.
It will make your jaw drop. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Sale Creek. I know Sale Creek's not very good, but look, they're 1-2. They're gonna be 500 after Friday.
Well, I guess I probably do need to pick it since you guys picked opposite teams. So
the tiebreaker.
Come on, you know you want Copper Basin.
Copper Basin, why not?
Oh wow!
Not like it really in the grand scheme of things matters, but sure, Copper Basin.
All right, Concord Christian at Grace Baptist Academy. Grace has been having a decent season. I don't have the records there, but Concord I know has won a couple games, what I recall. But I'm still going to go with the home school being played at Grace Baptist, and I'll say even win by 7 over Concord Christian.
Grace.
I'm going to go with Grace also.
All right.
That was boring.
Yeah.
All right, this game won't be.
Oh.
The 0-3 Hickson squad at Sequoia, who's 3-1. I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to pick Hickson. Even though they're on the road, Hickson has played so close. This is the game that they're going to break out and get their first victory, and doing it on the road, I think it's going to really energize this team.
I think a lot of it's going to have to do with what Hickson's going to be able to do offensively. If they're able to ball control and keep possession, they win the ball game. I'm going Sequoia Madisonville just because I know that they are a good football team, and I think the matchup's just not good for Hickson.
I'm going to go with Sequoia also. It's hard.
Right.
It's hard to pick Hickson against that Sequoia squad. Look, we had the running back coach Todd Worley on earlier. He said this was a slower team than what they faced earlier. That is true, but that's because they're a bunch of bruisers over there. They're tough to move. They're tough when it comes to moving you. So it's hard for me to pick Hickson there. I do think Hickson's going to have a good game. I do think that they're going to try their best, but I just see Sequoia coming out on top in the end.
All right, this next one I think we're pretty much all going to be in agreement on. The 1-2 Howard Tigers.
Hustling Tigers
at Anderson County, who is undefeated at 4-0. Anderson County, they've just pretty much annihilated their opponents. Anderson County played last Thursday night and won handedly, and I see that freight train slowing down anytime soon, and this is at Anderson County as well.
I might have a little bit of a different opinion if Howard was playing this game at home, but Anderson County is just going to be too much for them, especially at Anderson County. So I'm going Anderson County as well.
Yeah, this one's a little bit boring. Anderson County, steamroller of a team. They're very, very, very good. And if Howard wasn't able to hang with Tyner last week, Anderson County might be better.
Yeah.
You know, I can't take Howard here. Going to go Anderson County.
This one I kind of bad for. 4-0 Whitwell Tigers, or as you say, Whitwell.
Now you got to write this down.
No, it's Whitwell.
Whitwell.
Right. No. Whitwell.
All right. At Lookout Valley, who's 1-1-1.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Tigers are going to be mercy ruled before halftime.
Yeah, Whitwell want to run away.
Let's just say Whitwell. We don't need to go ahead and embarrass Lookout Valley any further than what's going to actually happen.
All right, Marion County coming off a tough loss to South Pittsburgh last week. We didn't even really talk about that game.
There wasn't a lot to talk about.
The big rivalry game. I mean, they stayed close with South Pittsburgh, and then maybe a quarter, yeah. But anyway,
close for that game. Yeah.
Marion County's coming into the contest this week at 1-2 against the 3-1 Tyner squad.
Yeah.
You know what? As much as I want to say Tyner, I'm going with Marion County.
I don't know what you're smoking, but I'll take some of it. Tyner's going to run away with it. I'm
going to agree with Nick. I think if you go Marion County, you're either trying to be a contrarian or you are out of your gourd. Tyner, maybe both.
Tyner's a state title contender. Marion County's not even close.
And the way that Tyner, when they have won, they have blown people away.
Yeah.
Marion County, again, South Pittsburgh is a small school. If you can't hang with South Pittsburgh, you can't hang with Tyner.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap things up here. McCauley and Innsworth at Innsworth, both schools 3-1. McCauley.
Yeah, McCauley surprised me last week against the Webb School.
All right. The 2-2 Rockwood squad at Meigs County, who's undefeated at 4-0. Meigs. All right. William Blount at Ottawa. This game. Really? They're 2-2, and Ottawa's 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going with
No. It's William Blunt. I was just saying it's not Blount. It's
Blunt. Oh, okay.
Blunt.
All right.
Former governor of the state of Tennessee.
Okay. I go with the Owls.
Yeah, Ottawa.
I'm also going with Ottawa. I live
better.
there.
You live there.
Homer.
Right.
Hoot hoot.
Polk County 3-1 at the 2-2 Tellico Plains. Polk County, I mean, their one loss they had 2 weeks ago was just a mere setback, but Polk County, I think, will do this well.
Polk.
All right. 0-4 McMinn Central at 2-0 Red Bank. Red Bank, you think?
Red Bank, not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Red Bank too.
Ray County at Lenora City, 2-1 Ray County, 2-2 Lenora City. I'm going to say Ray County.
Ray County. Rahia.
Yeah, Ray County.
All right. Battle of 0-4 Signal Mountain and Loudon. Signal Mountain. At Loudon, though.
At Loudon?
Yeah.
Loudon.
I'm going to take Loudon.
All right.
Just Signal's been having a rough season, and Loudon, that's tough. That's
1-4 Macon Road Baptist at 1-2 Silverdale. I'm going with Silverdale.
I don't really know. Silverdale.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to go Silverdale too.
All right. 2-1
conflict in these picks.
2-1 Sunny Daisy at Knoxville Catholic, who's 2-1 at Knoxville. But I'm going to go with the Trojans.
You're crazy. Yeah. Sorry, Justin. Love you, man, but Catholic's got this one.
Okay.
Knoxville.
All right. Our game of the week, Ringgold at Lakeview 4-0. Ringgold's 1-2. Lakeview 4-0, 2-1. Being at Lakeview 4-0, yeah, we'll go with them.
I'm going to go Ringgold. I really like what we do. I'm going Ringgold.
Warriors come out and play. I'm going with the LFO Warriors on this one. I think the home team is going to find a way to.
I do think it'll be a really good football game. So I am really excited about being able to do this game, going a little bit south than normal, and go into North Georgia and do a game. So I'm pretty pumped about it. We'll obviously be live at 7 with your show. Countdown to kickoff, and then the AMCO transmission game of the week starting at 7:30, followed by the fifth quarter show. This has been the Gridiron Gang Show. I'm Nick LeFew.
I'm Sam Jordan.
I'm Keon Rose.
Thanks for joining us here tonight, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. Also, Chattanooga Morning News beginning at 6 a.m. with 12 minutes of weather and traffic every hour, and of course, Russ and Val. You can't find a better morning show than them. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is the Gridiron Gang Show.
Traffic, news, and information. Nuga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
2 schools were placed on lockdown yesterday after reports of shots fired in the woods nearby Brainerd High and Boyd Buchanan. Reports say that the CPD rushed to the scene and filled the parking lot, but they never found a threat. CPD police spokeswoman Eliza Mizal said that the shots fired could have possibly come from duck hunters in nearby woods. A gas leak shut down part of West 12th Street at the Chattanooga Convention Center. Chattanooga gas crews worked quickly to locate and shut off the leaking pipe. They say that the pipe could be underneath West 12th and Carter Streets. With the threat of several inches of rain coming in from Hurricane Florence, the Tennessee Valley Valley Authority decided to preemptively lower the water level at all lakes and tributaries under TVA control in Tennessee. If you have a boat, you may want to check and make sure it won't be run aground. Georgia State Parks have opened up their gates for evacuees. They can stay for free at Cloudland Canyon. Russell Stroud, Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7. Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Becoming fair out there through your nighttime hours, warm and muggy. Overnight lows only 70 to 72. Now for your Friday, expect lots of sunshine, a dry, hot day. Highs 90 to 91. Continue dry and hot with some sunshine Saturday as well. Highs near 90. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's. Home with the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world famous sauce. Open daily, locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm Sorenstein 12 Chief Meteorologist Pat Report.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
My ex recently hacked my email and my social media, and it really caused me some problems. I changed all my passwords, which helped, but I'm still getting trolled, maybe even stalked. I know it's him. I just can't prove it.
My business, well, it's been broken into twice already. I've got cameras, but that only helps after the fact. I'd rather prevent it from happening in the first place.
Unity One East is your solution to these and many other security concerns. With private investigation, security services, and backed by decades of real-life experience in military and law enforcement, Unity One East is your instant contact for security, investigation, and consultation to help protect you, your family, and your business. No 1-800 number, no red tape, no wait, because Unity One East is local and available 24/7. Reclaim your peace of mind. Call Unity One East, 475-6206, 475-6206.
Whether you have marginal, moderate, or even extensive hair loss, you don't have to live with it. Finally, there's a procedure that becomes a part of you, and it requires no daily maintenance or special care. Let Apollo Hair Systems give you a free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 423-803-1011 and schedule this free evaluation today. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Apollo Hair Systems, 5512 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga. 423-803-1011 for Apollo Hair Systems.
I live, work, and play in Chattanooga, the scenic city. But when it comes to my next car, truck, or SUV, I'm Alabama bound. Fort Payne, Alabama, and Landers McClarty Ford. Big city selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with the small town price and friendly service. Now, I'm not knocking my hometown, but when it comes to my next ride, I only go to Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. Their selection is huge, but if I can't find what I want, they'll find it for me with the
Get back there, you dang Yankee!
WPLZ HD4 Ottawa, W224AZ Chattanooga.
Serving Chattanooga.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe, the Tennessee Valley's most listened to news talk station.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by TheraWorks Relief.
I'm Pam Coulter. The National Hurricane Center says sustained hurricane force winds are occurring along the North Carolina coast with a life-threatening storm surge and rain expected. Governor Roy Cooper.
The first bands of the storm are upon us, but we have days more to go. Wind and waves are driving seawater through some coastal streets like rivers.
At least 80,000 customers are without power in the state. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson says Hurricane Florence won't be over quickly.
These bands are dumping copious amounts of rain, so we're talking half a foot of rain that has already fallen in a span of just several hours, and there is still at least 24 of this one to go, and we're looking at realistically 36 hours before things start ratcheting down.
As Puerto Rico continues to recover from Hurricane Maria last year, President Trump is disputing the death toll on the island. George Washington University researchers put the number at 2,975. CBS's Weijia Jiang.
In a new statement just out tonight, the White House says every death from Hurricane Maria is a horror, but says the study is just a statistical estimate and not a confirmed list of deaths. Researchers say they are confident in their findings.
At least 4 people are injured in a series of gas explosions that set dozens of homes on fire north of Boston. One man says he ran into his basement to find the room was glowing. WBZ TV reporter Mike LaCrosse in Lawrence.
When we did speak with police officers and first responders out walking the roadways and on the scenes where some of those fires were, they say this is unlike anything they have ever seen before on their time with the department. And some of these guys have been on the department for 10, 20, even longer than that.
With just 54 days to go before the midterm election, former President Barack Obama is hitting the road to boost Democratic prospects.
On November 6th, we have a chance to restore some sanity to our politics. We can tip the balance of power back to the American people.
Mr. Obama spoke at a Cleveland rally for gubernatorial hopeful Richard Cordray and other Democratic candidates. There are several reports that former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort is close to reaching a plea deal with Russia special counsel Robert Mueller. Jury selection is scheduled to begin Monday in D.C. for Manafort's second federal trial. The charges include conspiring to launder money, conspiring to defraud the U.S., failure to register as a foreign agent, and witness tampering. This is CBS News.
To experience relief from foot and leg cramps, use TheraWorks Relief. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at your local pharmacy. Ask your pharmacist for TheraWorks Relief.
Liberty Mutual Insurance knows you're focusing on the road right now, so we'll just describe the advertisement we mailed you. There she is, the Statue of Liberty printed on a premium sheet of high-gloss paper. The message reads, Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. You'll think, wow, this is top-notch marketing that makes me want to reconsider my insurance provider.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Rush to Macy's 48-hour sale for 50 to 80% savings and limited time specials. Save 40 to 50% on great styles for her. Take 45 to 70% off fine jewelry. Shoes and boots for her, 30 to 50% off. Handbags from Inc. and more, 40% off. Friday and Saturday at Macy's. Savings off sale prices. Exclusions apply. Macy's Star Rewards offers benefits everyone can enjoy, no matter how they pay. Sign up for free in-store or at Macys.com/Star Rewards.
Colin Kaepernick is helping Nike make a lot of money. CBS's Jason Brooks.
Nike continues to score with its Colin Kaepernick Just Do It campaign. San Francisco-based Edison Trends says that Nike's online sales soared 31% from Labor Day weekend through this past Tuesday, compared with a 17% gain in the same period a year ago. The company's stock has also responded after taking an initial hit on the campaign and received a bullish analyst note this week from Canaccord Genuity, which calls the campaign a genius move by Nike.
The mayor of Kenner, Louisiana, is backing off a citywide ban on buying Nike products. Ben Zahn says he rescinded his order on the advice of the city attorney in the New Orleans suburb. After Nike put Kaepernick on its new ad campaign, Zahn put out a memo banning Nike purchases for use at city recreation facilities. He concedes the action divided Kenner. Pam Coulter, CBS News.
The Samsung Galaxy Note 9 has arrived at Sprint. For a limited...
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
2 schools were placed on lockdown yesterday after reports of shots fired in the woods nearby Brainerd High and Boyd Buchanan. Reports say that the CPD rushed to the scene and filled the parking lot, but they never found a threat. CPD police spokeswoman Eliza Mizal said that the shots fired could have possibly come from duck hunters in nearby woods. A gas leak shut down part of West 12th Street at the Chattanooga Convention Center. Chattanooga gas crews worked quickly to locate and shut off the leaking pipe. They say that the pipe could be underneath West 12th and Carter Streets. With the threat of several inches of rain coming in from Hurricane Florence, the Tennessee Valley Valley Authority decided to preemptively lower the water level at all lakes and tributaries under TVA control in Tennessee. If you have a boat, you may want to check and make sure it won't be run aground. Georgia State Parks have opened up their gates for evacuees. They can stay for free at Cloudland Canyon. Russell Stroud, Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
The Dana Show.
Honestly, this is it. This is it.
I just love listening to your show. It makes me feel so informed.
That's what I'm talking about.
If it's going on in the news, Dana is on it.
Freedom is bare bones, straight no chaser, limited government, take care of yourself, stay out of everybody else's life. The government stays out of your life. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, and when you screw up, you got to deal with it. That's freedom.
Taking the big news of the day seriously, but not much else.
Liberty-doo-dah. Here's your participation trophy.
The Dana Show.
And this energy, this heat energy in the ocean drives these storms. Now, there were so many reasons that tax cut didn't make sense. Overwhelmingly to the wealthy, all the stock buybacks. So why do working class people, a lot of them stick with them? Because they would have benefited from the jobs, from the infrastructure. They have to go the long distances to work. We know that working people go a lot further work than rich people do. And they need good roads and new mass transit, all kinds of stuff. And yet the money would all to the rich people, and you still have, 43% of your states backing Trump right now.
So that's Chris Matthews to Sherrod Brown. Why do working class people support Trump? I mean, you know how? I don't get it. Like, I thought when you were, telling them that if you don't support this, then you're a racist. I mean, that's enough, isn't it? I mean, people want to vote for that because they don't want to be racist, right? I don't know. I'm just like playing this out in my head. Welcome to the third hour of the show. I'm Dana Lash at DLash on Twitter, official Dana Lash on Facebook. Sarah, this, I don't even know where to start. So everybody's, okay. So here, they're really going at Kavanaugh. They're going at Brett Kavanaugh. You're going to see this all over cable news tonight. Here it goes. This is literally a headline by Ian Millhilser, who just cried like a baby after Think Progress got smacked by Facebook because they said your story's false and you're false too. Well, they just said a story was false. I'm not doing a Zoidberg meme, but you get it. They said, Brett Kavanaugh has a mysterious #MeToo problem. And, quote, federal investigative authorities, quote, are involved. Dum, dum, dum. And here it goes. This is literally the article from Think Progress. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh may have committed a very serious crime, possibly even a sex crime. Or maybe he didn't. That's what we just learned from an extraordinarily vague press statement by Senator Dianne Feinstein. What the hell did I just read? Oh my gosh, this is why nobody likes Think Progress. This is a real thing. Yeah. I mean, this is, can I please continue? Yeah. Let me just start over. I got to give it to you
this
fully.
Is real, right? They're not.
This is literally, you don't believe me?
No, it's not that I don't believe you.
You're going to do that Florida man thing with me again?
No, I believe you. I'm just saying
Boom.
they're positioning this as real.
Oh, yeah. So here it is. This is the Think Progress that just got in trouble with Facebook for lying. Brett Kavanaugh has a mysterious Me Too problem. And, quote, federal investigative authorities are involved. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh may have committed a very serious crime, possibly even a sex crime. Or maybe he didn't. That's what we just learned from an extraordinarily vague press statement by Senator Dianne Feinstein. Statement. Although there is no clarity about what the allegation against Kavanaugh may be, or whether it's credible or not, The Intercept's Ryan Grimm suggested on Wednesday that the incident is likely to involve allegations of some kind of sexual misconduct. Quote, Different sources provided different accounts of the contents of the letter he wrote, and some of the sources said they themselves had heard different versions. But the one consistent theme was that it describes an incident involving Kavanaugh and a woman while they were both in high school. Pretty crazy. All right, so this is apparently like they're trying to destroy a good guy. Oh, and Think Progress also, the headline and the photo that they used a picture of Brett Kavanaugh with his daughters in their school uniforms and said Brett Kavanaugh's #MeToo problem. With a picture of his daughters. That's Think Progress. Yeah. That's how they do things. Kavanaugh apparently went to Georgetown Preparatory for High School, which is an all-boys school. Okay. So I don't know. But everyone's like, wow, this mystery letter, he may have done something we don't know, but it's there. Okay, well, I don't. Okay. So they just want to destroy this guy. And they want to do whatever they can to drag this out as much as possible so that they want to be able to take the Senate. I mean, it's just, that's how they're doing it. Oh, my word. So, sounds super convincing, huh, Kane?
Yeah. There's no evidence of thinking or progress with this site. I've just been scanning it.
I mean, I read that and I was like, he's guilty.
That's right.
He's totally guilty. Of what? Evidence. Of that which is in the letter. Well, what's in the weed? Well, that's for you to find out, but he's guilty. That's how all that works. He's guilty. Oh boy.
Again, we just talk about the conclusion, and everything has to filter to that conclusion.
And here's the thrust of it. Think Progress, the Ian Millhilser, the guy who was so mad because they said he lied in his article, which he did. He tweets, I don't agree that Dems should release the Kavanaugh Me Too letter or out the alleged victim. My understanding is the victim requested confidentiality, and that request should be honored. The proper course is to delay the confirmation vote till after a full inquiry. Wait a minute. So he doesn't get to face his accuser? If you're going to ruin a man's life, he has the right to face his accuser. That's how it works. No, that is ignorant to the victim. Wait a minute. Hold up. If you make an accusation, the accused has a right to face their accuser. They have a right. There's a process here. That's just ignorant to the victim. Well, so that means that anybody can accuse anybody of anything. And that's just how it goes. Yes, that's the general idea. You're getting it now, but only with Republicans or people they nominate or people whose names rhyme with Shmret Mavanaugh. That's it. Goodness. So I don't know. I mean, we're going back to high school, and why doesn't he get to face his accuser? So this is what they're going to do all night long, just so you know. This is how they're going to do it, and they're going to do everything that they can to just tank him. I don't even know. They could have made the accusations